So there are four of them. This is the lecture on trends and prompts. And the four great trends of the last 200 years. Okay, the cognitive revolution in the 50s. Here. And then finally the information age in the 80s. Yeah. Okay. So this is a quick run through history. See, yeah. So there are four great trends in the last 200 years. So these trends can be viewed as the most pivotal in human history. Yeah. So first of all is the Industrial Revolution. And these trends are so pivotal, they affect all the topic prompts that you encounter in the IELTS exam, either in speaking or in writing. Yeah. Yan ang mga ganyan. Okay. So, okay. Let's begin with the Industrial Revolution. The unprecedented developments in mechanical engineering resulting in the rapid creation of revolutionary machines which have altogether marked the shift from agricultural economies into industrialized economies. So itong mga naka-underline guys, these are the prompts. They appear in prompts. Okay, so I guess we're still very agricultural, no? Yun. In fact, we cannot even meet our agricultural targets where the manufacturing processes have been streamlined from handcrafted methods to full-scale factory production in the assembly line system. Okay. These developments have given rise to urbanization. Oh my God, lots of questions on cities. Or the flooding of people into cities, where city industries fed the demand for productive work. So lots of questions about work, no? And the rise of work ethics as a result of pressure from the creation of organized labor and labor movements. Okay. On a bigger scale, there has been a host of attendant global problems, such as a dramatic rise in population, lots of prompts on population as well, no? Increasing energy demands, global warming, and environmental abuse. Yeah, unprecedented in human history. Meanwhile, education has become even more imperative, specialized, and extended, turning society into a meritocracy. Okay, lots of questions on education. With the premium now being placed on science and technology, possibly sacrificing other fields of endeavors, such as culture, the humanities, and the arts. And given advancements, massive advancements in such scientific fields, moral questions on the propriety of scientific advancements and the highly technological environment have likewise been raised. I guess the supreme moral question there will be AI, no? What is gonna be the impact of that on our lives, no? Yeah, so that's why you see these questions, they all relate to the Industrial Revolution. Space travel has been made sometime, and some people think that space tourism will probably develop in the future. Decades ago, the first man landed on the moon and stated its step towards mankind's greatness. Others say space travel only made a little difference. Government needs to control the environment rather than control industries, as companies already control resources very efficiently. Some people say that modern technology has made life too complicated, and the solution is everyone to live a simpler life and avoid using this technology. That one came out March of last year. As the number of cars increases, the more money is spent on road systems. Some people think that the government should pay for this. However, others think that drivers should cover the cost of the roads. Okay, so I will send this document over to you guys. Marami. All of that relates to the Industrial Revolution. Some people think that more money should be spent to promote the use of bicycles in cities. Others, however, believe that cities should focus on investing in public transportation systems. In today's job market, it is far more important to have practical skills than theoretical knowledge. In the future, job applicants may not need any formal qualifications. Interesting mga tanong mo, guys. Mhm. Damage to the environment is an inevitable consequence of the improvement of the standard of living. Okay. Yan, etc., etc. Okay. I'll send you this doc. Currently, there's a trend towards alternative use of medicine, alternative forms of medicines. However, at best, they are ineffective and at worst, they are dangerous. Fossil fuels are the main source of energy for many countries. However, in many countries, alternative sources of energy are encouraged. To what extent do you think this is a negative or positive development? Television is dangerous because it destroys family life and any sense of community. Instead of visiting people or talking with our families, we just watch television. Baka internet. Internet might be the better prompt there, no? The internet is dangerous. Diba? Because of the pressure of new subjects such as the sciences and business studies, many schools have stopped physical education from the curriculum. Nice, no? Nice. And then later we will check out the prompt tracker. This is the tracker from 2020 to 2022. So more or less makikita natin kung saan naka-extract, what historical trend was the question prompt extracted from. Look at that. Also, people think that politicians have the greater influence in the world, while others think that scientists are more influential. That is from the Industrial Revolution. Okay. Sige, let's move on to the next great trend. Industrial Revolution is down. Palo tayo sa the Great Depression. So the Great Depression is an economic calamity marked by the crash of the stock markets of the world's democracies, resulting in massive bankruptcies, company closures, industry-wide meltdowns, the loss of jobs and purchasing power, and a glut in government tax collectibles. Yun. O, balik na tayo sa farming. Okay. Bumagsak ang industries eh. Balik na tayo sa farming. This all resulted in urgent legislation that institutionalized the beginnings of government intervention in all matters of the economy, marking the end of laissez-faire economics. Ang ibig sabihin ng laissez-faire is let the economy operate by itself. No? Laissez means leave, faire means do. You leave it to do as it pleases. But that is the end of it. Kasi government has now begun to intervene, thus expanding government power over the private sector. Owing to the effectiveness of new measures, economies have since recovered in manifold ways, while growing wealth created the capitalist mindset. So dyan papasok yung mga questions on consumerism, man's obsession with money and possession, and lifestyle questions. shifted towards a decadent standard of living. Consumerism and the market economy have been embraced more widely and new industries sprouted, such as the entertainment industry. So hindi na lang tayo relegated to manufacturing. No? We have the entertainment industry, the sporting industry, the advertising industry, the health industry, the insurance industry, the fashion industry, the tourism industry, the fast food industry, etc. Wala na. Farming is dead. So all of that, they belong to the services sector. Okay. Versus the manufacturing sector. Meanwhile, to address the worsening gap between the rich and the poor, subsidies, ayun, lots of question on government subsidies, became a minimum government responsibility, while the breadth and scope of government intrusion into its citizens' lives have increased exponentially, such as with regards to various regulations and taxation measures, hence constantly raising privacy issues and the right to self-determination. Not to be forgotten, the economic changes have laid the groundwork for the eventual adoption of globalization as the dominant economic principles towards the 80s. However, globalization is not without its problems, foremost of which involves the loss of culture and identity brought about the powerful influence of the culture of developed countries. So all of these are economic questions. Ayan, many people think that public celebrations are a waste of money. The government should spend funds in a better way. Maraming tanong about that, ng government spending. Some people believe that the most important aspect of their job is their salary. Others think that the job itself is more important. Both kaya. They're both important. Nowadays, international tourism is the biggest industry. However, international tourism creates more tension rather than understanding between people from different cultures. We need to save there. In many countries, a small number of people earn extremely high salaries. Some people believe this is good for the country, but others think that the government should not allow salaries above a certain level. That's what you call the salary cap. No? Maybe referring to actors, entertainers, businessmen, singers. Consumer goods have become the most important part of people's lives. Do the advantages of consumer goods outweigh the disadvantages? So consumer goods are, things that are manufactured. So like your cell phones, your laptops, your television, your cars, all of that are consumer goods. The refrigerator, the microwave, yun. And some people think that only staff who work in a company for a long time should be promoted to higher positions. Families who do not send their children to government finance schools should not be required to pay taxes that support universal education. Yan. So, many people think that countries have a moral obligation to help each other, while others argue that the aid money is misspent by the governments that receive it, that so the international aid should not be given to the poor countries in the world. That's globalization. Some people believe that they should keep all the money they have earned and should not pay taxes to the state. I agree. Taxes will only be corrupted. Okay. More people are buying imported food rather than locally produced food. Syempre imported yun eh. Diba? Many people think that the government should pay the tuition fees for all adults who are interested in university studies. All of that. Economic progress is used to measure a country's success. However, some people believe that other factors are more important. Well, of course, economic progress. What other factors are you talking about? Nasa economy lang yun eh. What other factors should be considered? None. There should be no other factor. Mhm. The current financial system of the world encourages spending lifestyles as having the people trapped in a cycle of debt. Film stars and music celebrities may earn a great deal of money and live in luxurious surroundings. Many of them lead unhappy lives. I'd rather be rich than happy. Okay, advertising. Mhm. Okay. Government makes rules such as the prohibition of smoking in public areas to protect its citizens from danger. However, there are people who feel that many of these rules violate their rights to their freedom to choose. Okay, any questions? Many people think that job satisfaction is important in work. Do you think that people these days should be sure of getting job satisfaction before taking any job, or should they put salary first? Oh, interesting, no? Parang Maslow ang mga tanong. The best things in life are free. To what extent? Ito yung outsourcing, guys. This is what's happening to you. Oh. The Western world has been outsourcing its labor-related jobs to cheaper alternatives available in less developed countries. That's like all of you. Although this creates opportunities for people in poor nation, it is a policy that is criticized by many in the West. Okay. Sige. That's the end of it. We're moving on to the third grade trend. So again, mamaya dadaanan natin yung prompt tracker natin. No? Ayan o. Nasa ba yung mga economic questions doon? Ayan, many young people nowadays change their careers every year or every 3 years. What are the advantages and disadvantages of this? Globalization na kasi. Yun, daming opportunities na ngayon. No? Yun, and then let's jump to the cognitive revolution. Dalawa na lang, guys. A revolution in psychology brought about as a reaction to the two most destructive conflicts in human history, World Wars I and II, in which psychological thinking supported by interdisciplinary research resulted in the routing of behaviorism, gravitating towards empowerment. It's a big word, guys. There was a massive change in the view of human behavior, and as a result of this, a more open minded, liberalized outlook in behavioral management. Positive action and self determination replaced mechanical, ineffective models of reward and punishment, and humanistic methods of correction rose to wide acceptance. Similarly, the humanistic approaches gave rise to tolerance, inclusivity, diversity, pluralism, acceptance, respect, freedom, diplomacy, and the frowning on hatred, prejudice, Donald Trump, Donald Trump, and all forms of Donald Trump. These in turn gave rise to various movements demanding equality and universal recognition, from feminism to the civil rights movement to human rights campaigns, to minority rights, labor rights, the rights of the elderly, of children, of the marginalized, the LGBT, to changing gender roles, to environmentalism, to animal rights, to heritage conservation campaigns, to cultural preservation campaigns, to the various independence movements, the clamor for freedom of expression, the frowning and censorship and repression, the rising power of media and the internet, and even the collapse of communism and equivalent forms of authoritarianism. That is the cognitive revolution. Very nice now, guys. Yan. So, bitawan nyo lahat yung mga ganun. Tolerance, inclusivity, diversity, pluralism, acceptance, respect, freedom, diplomacy. See? The frowning on hatred, prejudice, stereotyping, discrimination. Hatred, prejudice, stereotyping, all forms of oppression. That is the cognitive revolution after the wars. So, tingnan nga natin yung prompt tracker natin. All fathers should get time off from their work if their child is born. Yan guys, bakit ba pag nanganganak ang mom, why does she need to leave work? Bakit siya lang mag-aalaga? All fathers should do the same, di ba? That is very cognitive revolution. Equality yon, feminine, uh, women's rights yon. It's a women's rights issue, di ba? Yan. Interesting, no? Every day there are tons of food wasted worldwide. This is really more an economic question that pertains to the Great Depression. And then this one pertains to the Industrial Revolution. Some people think that the main benefit of international cooperation is the protection of the environment, while others believe that the main interest is in world business. Ito, balik tayo sa cognitive revolution dito, guys. In schools and universities, girls tend to choose the arts while boys like science. What are the reasons for this trend? And do you think this tendency should be changed? Yun. Some people think it's more beneficial to take part in sports which are played in teams like basketball, while others think that taking part in individual sports like tennis or swimming is better. Under the cognitive rev, talagang may emphasis na talaga on teams, cooperation, globalization, teamwork, stuff like that. Today, the cost of public transport is rising. What are the reasons and give possible solutions? That's very Great Depression. Government must focus on public services rather than on arts. Great Depression question din yun, guys. Do you see how the trends interplay with the prompts? That's why this is the lesson on trends and prompts. The trend resulting to the prompt. Yun. Oh, look at this. Oh, this is very cognitive level. Experts say older people were happier and healthier in the past because they did more exercise and spent more time with family and friends, whereas many now suffer from loneliness and health problems. What are the causes of this and what are the solutions? How sad. What a sad trend. And this is animal rights, cognitive rev guys. And many animal species are becoming extinct as a result of human activities. What are the causes and possible solutions? Diba, guys? No? This one is very industrial rev. Yeah. Okay. Grabe industrial revolution, no? Can you imagine? Before that, we didn't have electricity. We didn't have transportation. We didn't have cars. Diba? It was just horses. Some people believe that all university students should do volunteer work on their own time to help the local community. That's very psychological, cognitive review, guys. Some people believe that in order to solve environmental problems, the price of fuel should be increased. Very economic, guys. That is Great Depression. Okay. Came out twice, oh. February this year, tsaka August this year. Ito cognitive rev ulit. Parang similar to the question earlier, no? Most young people do not enjoy competitive sports because they are afraid of losing. Thereby, the youth should be banned from competitive sports. Yung mundo ngayon, guys, is really driven by cooperation. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's go into the last trend, guys. The information age. Okay, this is very self-explanatory. Ayan, so lots of questions on computers and technology, no, guys? The advent of computer technology is an extension of the Industrial Revolution, wherein from mechanization and industrialization, the world has gone further by developing digital tech, pushed even further with the advent of the internet. Lots of questions on the internet, no, guys? Hence, these have given rise to new products, new industries, new specialization, and new wealth. Computers have penetrated industries, improving operations, streamlining systems, ensuring greater efficiency. They have expanded individual communications and productivity as well with the creation of the personal computer and the mobile phone. This all happened in our lifetime, guys. We are in the middle of all of it. Advanced programming will soon give birth to AI and automation in nearly every aspect of human existence. Personal entertainment has likewise evolved radically, giving greater options with social networking, home entertainment, and gaming, but at the same time making people and families more isolated and changing lifestyles significantly while raising modern health problems. Thus, while these computer developments have resulted in huge improvements, the problems cannot nevertheless be ignored. And some universities now offer their courses over the internet. Is this a positive or negative development? It is inevitable that as technology advances, traditional cultures will be lost. It seems we cannot have these two together. Mm, in the last 20 years, there have been significant developments in the field of IT, for example, the World Wide Web and communication by email. However, future developments are likely to have more negative effects than positive. Some people think that government should spend as much money as possible on developing or buying computer tech. Disagree and think that this money should be spent on more basic needs. Parang ano din siya, no? A Great Depression prompt din siya. It's all about government subsidies. Mhm. The age of IT has taken a lot of people by surprise. While it has become a way of life for some, others know little about it and may be unlikely to learn. Eventually, we will have a polarized society and this will lead to serious problems. Hmm. Parang older and younger generation, no, guys. Parang in ano din, it's like a cognitive revolution question as well. Some people believe that mobile phones should be banned in public. Others think that people should be allowed to use mobile phones anywhere. That is, I believe that is your fifth, no? Fifth essay niya, no, guys, writing out of 20. Mhm, mhm, mhm. Ito parang, I think this will be your uh, eighth essay. In some developing countries, children in rural communities do not have access to education. Some people believe this could be solved by having more schools and teachers. Others claim it could be solved by having the internet and more computers. Pangwalo nyo yan, guys. Mm, mm, mm. There's no other way to reverse the trend of obsolescence. Obsolescence is when things become obsolete. No, ang bilis nung ngayon, guys, diba? Ang bilis ng ano yung mga changes eh. Every year there's an iPhone, for example. Mm, technology will completely replace the teacher in the classroom. Mm, mm, mm. E-waste. Nowadays, families are not as close as in the past and a lot of people have become used to it. Ay, ganyan talaga yung effect ng ano. We have become more isolated. No? That's why mental health is really an issue. Yan, the advantages and disadvantages of working from home. Mhm. And advantages and disadvantages of online shopping. So these questions, they come out in speaking, they come out in writing. Mhm. And distance learning. Mm, modern forms of communication have made us less rather than more communicative. Tingnan natin yung trends and prompt, ay yung prompt tracker natin. Mhm. So atras tayo guys ha. College students should do voluntary work at your own time to help the local community. That's really psychological, very cognitive, right? Space exploration is a waste of financial resources. It is better to spend this money to improve human lives. That's very industrial. Right? Nowadays, more and more people decide to have children later in life. What do you think are the reasons for this? Blah, blah, blah. Very cognitive rev. People nowadays, they demand to decide for their own. They abhor societal traditions that put them in a box. Ganon. Many even decide not to have kids, period. Some people believe August 26 lang siya, guys. Last month. Some people believe that computers and mobile phones have a negative effect on reading and writing skills. Okay, so it's a mixture of the information age. Yan, information age question. Ibang-iba na yung ano, no, yung mundo, no, with the computer and the internet and mobile phones. Some people believe that sports are a source of stress, therefore the youth should be banned from participating in this. Parang that is so similar to the one later. Ayun guys, so August 20, yun nga yun. That's the one, no? It's so similar, no? Diba? Ayun yun. It's the same theme. So I'll send you this document as well, guys. Kaya lang this document is constantly being updated. Everyone in the world now wants to own a car, a TV, and a fridge. Do the advantages to the society outweigh the disadvantages? That's very Great Depression. That's very consumerism. Economic. Many young people regularly change their jobs over the years. Parang that is similar to this one, guys. Anong date ba yan? August 3. Similar siya dito, guys. Diba? What a helpful document, guys, no, na we are able to detect a pattern. It is so similar to the September question. Hmm, where is it? Mhm. Saan na ba yun? Mhm. Where is it? Saan na yung sports? Mhm. Ayun. Ah, is that the one? Yun na ba yun? Nalito na ako, guys. Nasaan na ba ako? Ayun, August 3. Ay, ito. Nandun yan, nasa dulong-dulo yan, guys. Nasa dulong-dulo. So, like September. Nasaan na ba yung staying 2 to 3 years? Nasaan na ba yung, nasaan na ba yung 2 to 3 years na yun? 3 years. 2 years. Ayun. Ay, I found it. I found it. 2 years. Go. Let's go. Let's go. Two. Nasaan na ba yung 2 years na yun? Similar. Ayun oh, guys. So, similar siya. That is so similar to the August 3 question. Changing jobs yun eh. Yun. So, pagsamahin natin siyang ganun. Yun guys. Kaya it's really helpful no, if you have a sense of history like that. Okay. Yan. Balik tayo sa August 3. Let's go back to as early as July. Hmm. Mahirap i-track to guys kasi everyday ng IELTS ngayon eh. It's not like before, it was only like every Saturday lang siya or something. Traditional teaching between teacher and students in a classroom will not exist by 2050. So that is really a very information age question. Some people say that school children should be mainly taught about the literature of their own country. However, others say that literature of other countries should also be taught. Parang ano to guys, parang the impact of the industrial rev, no? And its impact on culture, no? Yun. Kasi industrial revolution is really all about science and technology, no? Yung culture nakakalimutan. Some people think that something that the people have to choose between a life with work and a life without work. People would usually choose a life without work. To what extent do you? Siyempre naman, no. I'd rather not work, no. Yeah, di ba? Very cognitive rev of how good it would it be if we had a chance to choose, no? Parang Great Depression din, ano, parang economic din yung tanong. Yun, agree na lang kayo dyan, guys. Look at the birds. All they do is fly away. Fly, fly, fly. They don't need to work. Some people think that children should be taught in schools to recycle materials. Others believe that children should be taught this at home. Hey, both kaya. In some countries, the number of children aged 15 and younger are increasing dramatically. What are the current and future effects of an ever-increasing population? So that is really a very industrial rev problem, no? Yung environmental issues. So new technologies have changed the way children spend their free time. Very information age. Environmental problems are too big for individuals to solve. Only big companies and governments can solve them. Very industrial rev. Some people believe it's possible for countries to have a successful economy in a clean environment. Yeah, maybe. Look at Singapore, no? Diba? Very industrial rev. Some people believe that a lot of scientific research is a waste of time and money. Very industrial rev show, guys. Young people are highly influenced by famous people and they look up to them as role models. Is this a positive or negative development? Very cognitive rev. Malapit na tayo matapos sa July, guys. Let's stop at July. In some countries, a few people earn extremely high salaries. Some people think this is good for the country, while others believe government should control salaries and limit the amount that people can earn. Di ba we encountered something like that earlier? Di ba, guys? Nire-reward lang nila yun. Very cognitive rev. In the company or in the field of education, there are people who are hardworking while some are not. What are the reasons why some people are hardworking? What are the benefits of being hardworking? Very cognitive ref. Tapos na guys. Some say dangerous sports should be banned by governments while others think that the freedom of people to choose their sports must be respected. Very cognitive rev. This is actually your sixth essay. Kita mo, ang swerte ng mga... Can you imagine ng mga nagra-writing regimen, no? Tapos sinulat nila yan, lumabas ng June 25. Gabi siya. Cognitive, sana mas madali i-express for me. Yun, so that's why I'll send you the documents, guys. Kasi ang ganda ng cognitive rev, no? Oh my God, look at that, oh, into successive exams. Damn, man! Essay number 6 yan, ginawa mo na yan, Ma'am Rochelle, oh. Pag lumabas yan sa'yo, Ma'am Rochelle, panis. I'm gonna murder that question. I've done that already. Okay, so again, ang ganda ng cognitive rev, no? The biggest for me is really the psychological. Yun, parang nawala na yung behaviorism, no? Parang the way we treat people. Yun. Panis yun for Ma'am Rochelle, yung dangerous sports na yun. Panis! Yeah! Yeah, bring it. Dangerous sports. Diba? Parang dati napaka-harsh ng mundo, no? That's why we had those wars, and pero ngayon, it's really all about diplomacy, no? And being very patient, tolerant, diba? Recognizing, accepting, respecting, di ba? Yun. Kaya lang nandun pa si Donald Trump eh. Oh, ayan, Donald Trump, tapos Donald Trump, tapos Donald Trump ulit yun, tapos Donald Trump ulit yun. Okay. May mga ganun pa ring forces, no? That's very oppressive, very judgmental. Naku, may encounter niyo yan, guys, sa States. These are what we call the rednecks. Okay. Binulong ko lang kasi medyo controversial. Okay. Sige. So I will send this document, The Cognitive Revolution, but it all began with the Industrial Revolution. Grabe siya. Yun. Do you know that this, some people say this is the greatest historical trend, no? The greatest event in history, the Industrial Revolution. Kasi up to now, 200 years after, we're still feeling the impacts of the Industrial Revolution. Okay, parang hindi na, parang it marked the point where we never looked back. Yun, agriculture is dead. It's now science and tech. It's industry. Parang ganun. I'll send that to you guys. And then I love the cognitive rev, that one. The Great Depression is also quite interesting. Yan, globalization yan, guys. That's why you're able to find jobs abroad. You are so blessed. Can you imagine if there was no such thing as globalization? What? You'll be stuck in the Philippines. And of course, computer technology. Yan. And then I'll send that to you guys, and then I will send you the prompt tracker. But just take note that this is constantly being updated. So hingi na lang kayo. Sabi niyo, sir, can I have the latest edition of the prompt tracker? Yun, kasi every time may mag-exam, hinihingi ko yung, this one just came out earlier. Government must focus on public services rather on the arts. Diba? Very ano yung theme, no? Yung mga ganyan, yung mga tema ng subsidies, diba? Kung saan pupunta yung pera, diba? That's very Great Depression yun, and the how government is now assumed a primary role in our lives, diba? Yun. Eh di, both. Both ako dyan. Madali lang yon. They're both important. End of discussion. Hello, USA. Okay. And then I'll show you something, guys. Let's Google it. Okay. Yung Industrial Revolution has had apat na ba? The fourth Industrial Revolution. Or 5 na ba? The 5th. Can you imagine that trend, no guys? Alam mo saan nag-umpisa yung Industrial Revolution? Does anybody know? Sige, manghula nga kayo. What country? Hula, hula, hula. What country? That one, the image of factories bellowing smoke into the atmosphere. What country? Guess nga, guess. Before we end the recording. Can you guess? Sige na, I wanna hear your voices. Where did the Industrial Revolution start? Nandun yung sagot. Nandun yung sagot. Takpan natin. Hindi na matakpan. In Britain. Diba? The Brits, they started the Industrial Revolution. Yun, the first one is mechanization, water power, steam. Second is the assembly line. Yan na yung manufacturing, guys. Factories, factories, factories. The third is, ano ba ito natatakpan? Ano ba yung third? Ay, computer and automation. Cyber physical systems. Ayan na yung Wi-Fi, guys. Diba? Kita niyo yung signal ng Wi-Fi? Na. And then, parang nag-uumpisa na tayo dito, guys. Mass customization and cyber physical cognitive systems. Yun, parang, ayan na yung computers na yan, guys. Ito na, computers na to eh. Yun, ganun eh, no? It all began with the Industrial Revolution. Yun, let's look at the other images. Diba guys? What an incredible piece of history. Tingnan mo yung mga taong yun. You know, parang nagrarally sila. Labor rights. Ganun. Kita mo yan. Damn, so many workers. Yan, manufacturing yan guys. Pero ngayon, services is king, mga computer jobs, no? Mga ganun. Mm, what is the third? Wait, the third. Parang ganun guys. You get the point, no? Layo na natin. Ayun. The first is mechanization. The second one is, yan, manufacturing yan guys. The third, computer systems na to. And nandito na tayo sa fourth. Yan, cyber physical. The combination of the, the cyber worlds and the physical worlds. Yan. That's where we are. Yan. Sige guys. Damn. It's all started with the Brits. Okay, I'll stop the recording guys. Hold on.